So in this video, I'm going to talk about how to spot an avoidant woman right off the get-go. This is going to be from my experience. I am unfortunately very versed when it comes to dating women like this. So I am going to be comparing a girl that I'm currently talking to and then one of my ex-girlfriends that I've dated in the past. I do want to go ahead and point out that the ex-girlfriend that I'm going to talk about, I'm not going to say names, is a very wonderful woman. So if you're somebody that thinks that avoidant individuals are terrible people and you should avoid them at all costs, you're not going to want to watch this video. I think every guy is going to date someone like this. I mean, that's an assumption that every guy will. These are individuals that have been hurt in their past. Because of that, this is going to require more patience when it comes to dealing with a woman like this. And I will tell you at the end of this video, if you are going to date someone like this, I'm going to tell you how you have to handle these types of women in order to make them feel safe being around you. I can pretty much promise you that if you can understand how to handle these types of women, you can make a normal, healthy woman who's emotionally available and like secure, if you will, much like you can handle a normal woman with no problem. I am going to be talking like I'm having a conversation with this girl. So this is a girl that I'm talking to, showing very high interest in me. And it's very easy to spot when a girl is definitely in you. She finds ways to talk to you. This is a girl that will come up and approach me and talk to me instead of the other way around, me having to come up to her. I'm going to be paraphrasing in this video. Obviously, I can't quote the conversation word for word, so that's why I'm saying I'm paraphrasing. First one right here is going to be if they grew up without a dad or he just wasn't around. The ex-girlfriend's dad is around. However, I can tell because I am somebody that is very in tune with my emotions. This is a guy that he always stays busy. He's always doing something as a man should, but you could tell that he never tries to talk about any of his problems. He is a veteran, and so if he has seen stuff, the PTSD from that is likely why he is the way that he is. When you raise a child and you as a parent, especially the father, are not emotionally available, well, your daughter is going to grow up to see that emotions are not okay. So they're going to learn to push them down, and that's not healthy. The ex-girlfriend had a dad who just wasn't emotionally available. This girl ended up telling me that her dad just straight up wasn't in the picture. My dad was not in the picture. I had a real dad and then I had a stepdad, but both of these father figures were never in my life. I had to teach myself how to be a man my entire 29 years. So I am relatable in a way to this girl. However, when you're in one of these situations where you don't have a father figure, you don't have a dad that can show these girls what it's like to have a healthy relationship with a man. And that's going to tie into the next part because this girl did tell me about some of the guys that she dated when she did not live in Florida. And that's going to be they're going to have a history of dating bad men. The ex-girlfriend that I'm talking of, her past lover ended up cheating on her several times, and that's disgusting for anybody to do. And then this girl right here ended up telling me that the guy that she was dating, one of the guys that she was dating when she lived out of state, ended up being, she said, like a gangbanger. So that tells me that this guy was more than likely physically abusive. I never asked her if he hit her in any way. I'm just assuming based on the way she explained what kind of guy this was, that he just wasn't a good man. Because their dad wasn't around to show these girls what it's like to have a normal, healthy love, you're going to notice these types of women will have a history of being in toxic relationships. They trauma bond with these men because in their eyes, if they have to fight for someone's love because their fear of rejections being triggered, that's why they stay in relationships where the guy's cheating on them or the guy's abusing them, because to them that's normal. Whereas somebody like me that can show a woman what healthy love is, they don't know what that's like, so that's going to scare them. Their fear of abandonment doesn't get triggered, so they're not fighting to keep a relationship with someone like me. That's going to bring us to the next point then. Because of the dad and the men that they've dated, they've been conditioned literally from childhood to think that love hurts. In fact, the girl that I'm talking to right now, I straight up asked her, hey, so I'm only asking this because you've told me about some of the guys that you dated, and then you told me your dad wasn't in the picture. Are you somebody that thinks that love hurts or that love is scary? And her answer boiled down to yes. And that kind of brings us into the next point, because that also did tie into the same conversation, where they just don't get emotional. She told me, I don't know how we got to this answer, but I did know it came after I asked her if love hurt her. She says that she just doesn't get emotional when it comes to people. Women act based on how they feel. Women are very emotional beings. That's women. Just they're in their emotions all the time. That's why they're so fucking crazy. But if a girl is sitting here telling you, I don't get emotional, that means that she's likely trying to suppress her emotions so that way she doesn't have to feel them. That's likely what it is. And I only have that because I actually used artificial intelligence to help me understand why it is that she said that. And that's what the AI brought up. It says if a woman's not emotional, it's likely because she just has been taught over the course of her life to subconsciously push her emotions down, because feeling emotions is painful. And again, coming from their childhood with their dad, emotions weren't safe. We don't do emotions in this house. That's why these women are the way that they are. Before I continue this video, I do want to say that avoidance can change. Emotionally unavailable women can become emotionally available. That's their own subconscious fears that they're working with. So these people, if they ever become aware that they do this, and this usually comes from them reaching like a low point. If they get broken up with enough times, they might start thinking maybe I'm the problem, and that's going to seek them to go and get therapy. And if they stay in therapy and work with a therapist, their therapist can help them understand their subconscious actions. So yes, these types of people can change. That's why I said avoidants are not bad people as long as they can become aware of their actions over time. And a lot of them to an extent are aware. Most of the time their behavior, especially when that emotional attachment forms with their lover, that's all subconscious. They don't think about that. Next point, small social circle or no social circle. So both of these girls mirror each other. The ex-girlfriend that I'm talking about, her social circle was literally me. I was the only guy that was in her life other than her dad. It was me, her family, and then there was two women in particular that she talked to every once in a while. The girl that I'm talking to right now, because she has no family in Florida right now, as far as I understand. She is in a group chat with some of her old coworkers that she used to work with. But I asked her, I said, do you not hang out with any of these people? And she told me no, she doesn't hang out with anybody. These two people, they isolate themselves. And that's going to bring us in the next point. Okay, the reason why, well, not the next point, but one of the bullets I have here, the reason why these people isolate themselves is because they've just learned over time they're better off being alone. It's safer for them to be alone. These types of women typically have trust issues, whether they openly say that or not, but just know that if they don't tell you, they do have trust issues because they've been hurt in the past. So they have trust issues due to them thinking they're better off being alone, which is why they isolate themselves. If they're by themselves, it forces them to feel their emotions. These types of women, when they are alone, that's beneficial for them because their body will force them to feel their emotions and they will eventually process their feelings. But unlike someone like me or a normal healthy woman who can process her feelings immediately, these people are on a delayed timeline. With that being said, then the next one and the last one right here is they're going to constantly be busy with work or the gym or literally fucking anything. This ex-girlfriend that I'm talking about, she would work all the time. Sometimes she would clean her closet like twice in one day. She would paint the downstairs area, especially if we got into like an argument. She would go to the gym for like 2 hours and then she would come home and sit in her car for like 30 minutes. This girl right here is, now this, if you notice what they're doing, this finding a way to distance themselves from their lover, this is what's called a push-pull mechanic. They're pushing you away because intimacy and vulnerability and love scares them, but if you leave them alone long enough, they're going to pull themselves back to you. It's so frustrating. I didn't know this when I was with that ex-girlfriend that I was talking about, but now that I understand this is why I said if you're going to be with someone like this, you need to be patient. We have to let them know that it's safe to be around you. The girl that I'm talking to at the moment, she spends, I think, 6 days a week working, and then her day off, I don't know what she does on her day off. I know she like cooks, cleans, and does laundry. We only had this conversation once, so I'm only going off of the fact that I know she works 6 days a week, and then she gets 1 day off where she spends doing like laundry or working, or not working, but like laundry, meal prepping, and whatever the fuck else a girl does to not sit there and do something. Because like a man, for example, a man should be working on his goals, his mission, his passion, his purpose. I'm filming this video before I go to the gym because I filmed this yesterday and I just didn't like the quality of the video, so I'm refilming it. A man should be busy, okay? A man is the prize. A woman needs to work to get in the man's life, okay? So the man needs to be busy because that's just what men were raised to do. We're raised to be the providers. We're just naturally hardwired to fucking chase after things that we want. So if a girl's doing this, if she's constantly staying busy, again, this ties back into the fact that she's likely trying to suppress her emotions. Now, suppressing emotions does not mean she's not thinking about you or the guy or whatever's bothering her. They overthink like crazy, but their overthinking is logical. They're trying to rationalize their decisions, but they haven't hit their emotions yet. So if you're ever in no contact with an avoidant, you do not want to break no contact with this type of person, okay? Because they need to sit in their emotions. I'm going to transition to the part of the video where I'm going to talk about how you handle these types of women. The things I'm going to tell you what to do right now, this is applicable for any woman that you deal with, whether she's emotionally available or not. This is just you as a man being a fucking man. Number one, you want to let women come to you at their own pace. That means if you text this girl planning a time to hang out with her, you need to wait for her to text you back and agree to hang out with you. So if you text her on Monday and then Thursday comes around and you haven't heard from her, you do not fucking text her again. Okay, you need to wait. You text her on Monday, Thursday comes around, Thursday morning, you don't hear from her, but then she texts you Thursday night. That's good. She's choosing to come back to you. She's choosing to reply to you. And if she agrees to hang out with her, say, okay, awesome. I will see you. Let's say the date's on like Saturday. Say, okay, awesome. I will see you on Saturday. Send me your address. I'll come pick you up. Or like if it's new. If you already know the girl or whatever, you'll just say, okay, hey, I'll see you here on Saturday, or I'll come get you at this time. So you're letting the girl come to you. Hey, dating's like tennis. If you text a girl, you need to wait for her to text you back. Whatever you do with these types of women, you do not double text them, do not triple text them, do not text them and then do not call them. Whatever it is that you do, if you text her or call her, you need to wait for her to get back to you. The more you start dating any woman in general, over time, you're going to notice that if you text a woman to hang out once a week, so if you text her on Monday to hang out on Saturday, let's say that's your first date, you are then going to text her on Monday or Tuesday again to try to see her again on like Friday or Saturday. So you're going to go on one date a week with the girl. And then what's going to happen around the second or third date, the girl's emotions, avoidant or not, are going to become engaged. Then when the woman starts texting you first, you never have to text that girl first ever again, because women are naturally designed to chase. And this, from my experience, happens like with the avoidant individual. My ex-girlfriend that I'm talking about, she would text me first all of the time. Now, I went 50-50 with her because I didn't know any better. And 50-50 in relationships is platonic. Once the girl starts texting you first, assume she wants to see you, set up a date with her, and then get the fuck off the phone. You do not want to text a girl just to text her. Whatever you do, do not text a girl or talk to a girl on the phone just to have a conversation with her. You want to use the phone just for setting dates. So you're letting the girl come to you because if you're new to dating her, you as a man are going to reach out to her once a week and set up a date once a week. After 2 or 3 weeks go by, you're going to notice the girl is going to start reaching out to you first. This is the woman choosing to come to you. From that point on, let her reach out to you first from that point on. Do not fucking text this girl first unless 7 days go by and you have not heard from the girl. Then you would revert back to texting this girl once a week. If you follow these instructions when it comes to dating, this is very simple. And this is going to apply whether you're in a long-term relationship, dating a girl, or married to a girl. As long as every time that girl texts you, she assumes she wants to see you, set up a date. And then if a week goes by at any point in time and you do not hear from your girlfriend or your wife, you will text her and then set up a date with her. And then and that process is going to repeat. She's going to eventually start reaching out to you first again. This is how you handle women. You're letting women choose you. And then the avoidant women that I'm talking about in this video, they might take a little longer. So if a normal woman might text you after every 2 days, well, the avoidant woman might text you every 4 days. You have to be okay knowing that it's going to take a lot longer with the avoidant woman. But the safer you are to them, the less you're going to trigger their avoidant side. It's very possible that that avoidant tendency could ease up over time, and then that 4 days could turn into 2 days. But this is just normal masculine behavior. We are letting the woman work to get your attention. If the woman has to work to get your attention, she's gonna value you more. Whereas in my case with the ex-girlfriend, I was 50-50 with her when it came to texting. That's very platonic friendship vibes. So if you guys like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And listen, if you're a guy right now trying to get better at pickup, dating, and relationships, click the link in my description to go check out my 17-page cheat sheet. This is a document that you want to look at when you're in a situation with a girl that you do not want to mess up. I've put everything from my experience with women and then everything that I've learned from other people as well inside 17 pages, so you do not have to go and read the several books of hundreds and thousands of pages that I've read over the course of me learning all this stuff. So also a couple other links too. You get my free book down below. All I need is your name and email, and then you can also book a one-on-one coaching session with me if you really want to fast track your progress in life. With that being said, guys, if you like this video, check out this one right here. You're likely going to like that one as well. With that being said, man, hey, I'll see you guys in the next one.